Young Sheldon Season 6 page return highlights a TBD problem. Hello everyone, my name is Alana. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Up note. This section contains Young Sheldon Season 6 Episode 13 spoilers. The page episode from Young Sheldon Season 6 was a pleasant surprise, but it also brought attention to a flaw in The Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon, like the majority of comedy spin-offs, has its share of issues with its original content. Young Sheldon's portrayals of the Cooper family are difficult to reconcile with their previous appearances in The Big Bang Theory. For instance, in The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon and his mother called his late father, George Sr., a lazy, infidelity-prone alcoholic. In Young Sheldon, the character turned out to be a likable, heartwarming everyman. Jim Parsons' narration as adult Sheldon, which sees a post-The Big Bang Theory version of the character recall the spin-off's events, can occasionally resolve this kind of contradiction. Young Sheldon presents a more optimistic account of events than The Big Bang Theory, which makes sense given that an older, more mature Sheldon is reflecting on his adolescence in the spin-off. It makes natural that Sheldon's older self would be more introspective in Young Sheldon's narration, as he was able to be frank and impolite in The Big Bang Theory, but softened by the end of the show. Young Sheldon Season 6, Episode 13, A Frat Party, A Sleepover, and the Mother of All Blisters, demonstrates that Sheldon's shifting viewpoint on his recollections is insufficient to explain all of the spin-off's issues. Paige, Sheldon's former rival, buddy, and possible love interest, returned in this lighter episode after the Dr. Linkletter plot tragically justified the worst Sheldon attributes in The Big Bang Theory. Audiences have grown increasingly interested in Sheldon's story as young Sheldon has developed her friendship with Paige. The more viewers grow engrossed in her narrative, the more bizarre it appears that Paige is left out of The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon has discussed how Paige was a buddy, a rival, and even a crush at one time during Young Sheldon's 6 seasons to date. According to the final scene of A Frat Party, A Sleepover, and the Mother of All Blisters, Paige was also Missy's close friend, as was also suggested in previous appearances. Her omission from The Big Bang Theory is all the more bizarre in light of this. Even though Young Sheldon demonstrates that Missy was wasted by The Big Bang Theory, she did make an appearance in the previous series and contributed to Sheldon's adult life, while Paige was absent. In A Frat Party, A Sleepover, and the Mother of All Blisters, Sheldon accompanied Paige to his first college party and even prevented her from going with a much older boy. This kind of early encounter served to emphasize once more how strange it was that Sheldon never brought up Paige's presence in The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon has such pleasant memories of Paige in his Young Sheldon narrations that it seems improbable that the two will ever communicate again in their adult life, even though they may eventually have a falling out. Issues with Missy were hinted to by Young Sheldon. The spin-off has never provided a reason for Sheldon's forgetfulness of Paige. This is problematic because Paige's social difficulties and rebellious behavior became the story's distinguishing features during her last appearances in the spin-off. This seems to suggest that her story will end tragically, with a turn of events that would be a bit too extreme even for the more dramatic spin-off of The Big Bang Theory. While there have been some depressing plots in Young Sheldon before, most of them, such as George and Mary's marital troubles and Mandy's problems with her parents, have mostly impacted older characters. Paige is a child, in contrast to Mandy and Sheldon's parents. Tragically ending her story deviates from Young Sheldon's sitcom style. However, it is impossible to defend her absence from The Big Bang Theory if her story is concluded without a description of how she disappeared from Sheldon's consciousness. The spin-off is forced to choose between keeping Paige around and ending her story in a depressing way. Although it is unknown if Young Sheldon's writers will find a satisfactory solution to the Paige problem, It is becoming increasingly obvious that the program needs to take action with every appearance the character makes on Sheldon's The Big Bang Theory spinoff. Young Sheldon Season 6 has been full of surprises, but none have been as intriguing and as controversial as the return of Paige, Sheldon's intellectual equal, in the latest season. While fans were undoubtedly excited to see the character reintroduced, it has sparked a deeper conversation about a major problem in the Big Bang Theory universe that has been simmering beneath the surface for years. What does Paige's return in Young Sheldon reveal about the larger issues in the Big Bang Theory world? Buckle up, because this return isn't just about a character, it's about unraveling a deep-rooted issue that fans have overlooked for far too long. For those who haven't been following every twist and turn of Young Sheldon, Paige is a character introduced as one of Sheldon Cooper's intellectual peers. Played by the talented McKenna Grace, Paige is a young genius who, like Sheldon, is far ahead of her years academically. In Young Sheldon, she initially appears as a potential rival for Sheldon's academic crown, challenging his status as the youngest prodigy in the room. But her real significance isn't just about her genius, it's about her unique relationship with Sheldon. Over time, Paige becomes one of the few characters who can truly relate to Sheldon's complex personality. Unlike other children, she isn't intimidated by Sheldon's intelligence or awkwardness. They bond over shared experiences, and there's an undeniable chemistry between them that fans have loved. She's not just a peer, she's a character that serves as a mirror to Sheldon's intellectual and emotional journey. Paige's return in Season 6 of Young Sheldon marks a pivotal moment, and it's clear that she will play a role in Sheldon's ongoing growth. However, it also opens the door to a much larger discussion that the Big Bang Theory never fully explored. And it's a conversation that fans can't ignore any longer. Paige's return in Season 6 was nothing short of exciting for fans who had been hoping for her comeback. Her reappearance was a welcome surprise and felt like a natural progression in Sheldon's story. But interestingly, her return also highlighted a glaring issue within the Big Bang Theory universe, a problem that's been there all along but has gone largely unaddressed. In the new season, Paige's reintroduction isn't just about Sheldon's growth as a person. It's also about his interactions with the people around him. As we see Sheldon's relationships with others evolve, it becomes evident that Paige might hold a mirror up to Sheldon's struggles in ways that the show has never fully examined before. This is where the problem Paige's return in Young Sheldon brings attention to a major flaw in the way the Big Bang Theory handled Sheldon's emotional journey. Instead of allowing Sheldon to develop emotionally, as he did intellectually, the show leaned heavily on Amy to drive his growth. Paige represents the possibility that Sheldon could grow and learn on his own, without relying on anyone else to teach him how to be emotionally intelligent. Fans of the Big Bang Theory have long been clamoring for a more nuanced exploration of Sheldon's emotional development, and Paige's return in Young Sheldon highlights that this could have been a path the show took. Had the writers taken the time to explore Sheldon's emotional growth in a more independent way, the series could have offered an even more satisfying conclusion to Sheldon's arc, one that didn't rely on romantic relationships or others constantly pushing him forward. Paige's return in Young Sheldon Season 6 is a moment that fans won't soon forget. It's a reminder that Sheldon's emotional growth has always been underexplored in the Big Bang Theory universe. While Sheldon's relationship with Amy is sweet and compelling, it has always felt incomplete, as if Sheldon's emotional maturity depends on others. Paige's presence shows that Sheldon's growth could have been more autonomous, an opportunity that the Big Bang Theory missed. As young Sheldon continues to explore Sheldon's intellectual and emotional development, it will be fascinating to see how Paige's return impacts his future. Will Sheldon continue to grow in ways that the Big Bang Theory never allowed? Fans can only hope that young Sheldon will take this chance to fully explore Sheldon's emotional journey and offer the character the growth he deserves, free from the constraints of his relationships with others. After all, a genius mind deserves a chance to fully blossom emotionally and intellectually, and Paige might just be the key.